Good evening and hope you're doing well. I was away all weekend. I've just got back, hence the late show tonight. But we've won. I missed last weekend as well. Then I was back for the Everton loss. I missed this one. I thought, right, I'm definitely going to have to do a video. Otherwise, we're not going to appear when we lose. Not great, is it? So here we are. I thought we could have a little chat with people that is still up at this time. It's interacting live chat. We'll talk about the West Ham game earlier today. And the transfer. The deadline is in 25 hours at 10 o'clock on Sunday night. So we've got 25 hours left. And then that is it. Well, it's not it. There's a domestic transfer window still open where we can only buy from the Championship and lower, which is a bit underwhelming, isn't it? But we'll get on to that in a second. Let's start with the football. 3-0 at Leicester. I mean, that was a really good result. But yet, we've somehow been outdone by the results that later followed. Spurs win at Man United, Villa thumping Liverpool. How can West Ham win 3-0 away to Leicester on a day where there's only 5 games and we'll be lucky to be third on match of the day? Sums us up a little bit, doesn't it? But anyway, I tell you what, thought we were magnificent today. Every single player, the tactics, everything was just perfect, really. What I enjoyed about today in Wolves, both of them are similar performances. There's not really one player you think if he was missing next week would really struggle. Of course, there's some more than others, like Declan Rice and Antonio, but we're not a one-man team. The tactics were brilliant. The play, I thought that we were really well organised. Leicester didn't have a shot on target the whole game. I think that's a big sort of compliment to the way we played as a team. Pressed from the front when we wanted to, and we let them have the ball when we wanted to. There's not one poor performer out there today. We were just outstanding. There's so many. I know Ogbonna got man of the match. It's hard to disagree with that. His reading of the game is just superb, though, isn't it? That time when Vardy went on his run and you just thought, oh no, this is what Vardy wants. He wants that space to run into. But Bono almost just took a shortcut. Got there, won it and got the foul. Made it look easy. The whole lot of the team did, actually. Sofal, I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. I'm sure someone will correct me anyway. Sofal. You wouldn't have thought he was a new signing, would you? He's almost like a little Zabaleta in a way, isn't he? I thought he got up and down that line really well. Defensively, very switched on, very aggressive, I guess. There was that point in the first half when they started to outnumber us a little bit on the edge of the box, and Barnes played in someone. He cut it across for Vardy, and Sofal was at the front post, which was like the opposite side of the pitch of where he should have been. I just thought it was really good reading of the play by him. Really impressed by him today as well. But Solchek and Rice, what a partnership they're starting to create in the middle of the park there. Today was a big test for them because Leicester should have outnumbered them in there, I felt they should have had an extra body in there, but they made it look easy. Rice is becoming a lot more, I say a lot more, the last 2 weeks has been a bit more box to box than he usually is. I know he'll get this defensive midfielder tag attributed to him, understandably so, but I think when you're playing like a 3-4-3 formation as we are, you can't really have a defensive midfielder in there. You need both your midfielders to do everything. They need to be able to attack, defend, pass, tackle, shoot, everything. And I think both of them are doing that. I think Declan's, his run sort of showing that, didn't he, when he dribbled it from inside his own half and hit the crossbar at the end of the pitch. But I think generally his all-round play was just superb today. He's back to his best. I thought he was obviously poor against Everton. I thought he was a bit quiet against Newcastle and Arsenal, but I thought he's probably my man of match last weekend actually against Wolves. I thought he was unbelievable. Today, not quite man of match stuff, but he was back to his best. But I'm really pleased to see Fornals doing well. I've always liked Fornals since he come. I don't know why. I think it's because he works hard. So it's hard not to like him. But I've always thought he sort of bought into West Ham, if you like. I think he just enjoys being at West Ham for whatever reason. And it's good to see him now being successful on the pitch. I think Bowen's got 3 goals this season. I think Fornals has set up all 3. I could be wrong about that. But that pass for Bowen's goal today was just superb. He just takes his time. I say he takes his time. He's still pretty quick. But he just took that extra touch and then played it in and took out the whole Leicester defence with that one pass. His own touch for his goal was unbelievable. How he's got that coming out of the sky, I don't know, 40 yards above his head or something, but it's coming over the top of his head, so he's having to watch it. To bring it down like that, and then he's trying to come in on his stronger foot. He's trying to get onto his right foot. He sees, I think it's Evans or so, I don't choose. Someone's coming over, You can see he's not going to get onto his right. So he takes us back onto his weaker foot and hits it and gets his goal. I just thought Fornals was absolutely magnificent again today. Jared Bowen's cool as a cucumber in front of goal, and Mikel Antonio's every centre-back's worst nightmare. We're just playing really good football at the minute. I'm going to eat a little bit of humble pie tonight with David Moyes. I'm warming to him. If we play like that every week, and what we saw against Wolves, I'd be delighted. I can't remember the last time we put back-to-back league performances together that have been so enjoyable to watch. You know, if we're going to score 7 goals, it's going to make it a bit easier. But I generally think our organisation, our style of play, we've made Leicester and Wolves look poor in the last 2 weeks. I know they haven't played well, neither of them, but I don't really like that stigma. I don't really like it when people suggest you only win because the other team didn't turn up. Well, yeah, but they didn't turn up because we played well. There tends to be a correlation between the two. Not always, but usually there's something going on there. But yeah, all good today. Happy Hammer, 3 points, 3 goals, and just all round good performances. Aaron Creswell as well, actually. He's a sort of a left centre back now, isn't he? You don't really want him left back, but 2 assists. The second one's a generous assist, isn't he? He just clears it, and Fornals goes on and does the rest. But his first one, that cross is on the money. It is absolutely on the money. If Masuaku had done it, I think it would have been getting much more praise for whatever reason. I just don't think Creswell's been given as much credit as he should have done for today's performance. That he's done really well. He's part of the back three that's kept a usually prolific Leicester City out. A clean sheet for us thanks to VAR at the end there, but we'll take it. Another good performance from us. Another 3 points, 10th in the league. I like my stats. I know a lot of people don't like stats. They don't like numbers, but I'm just going to chuck a couple of out there that go into detail. You know that XG, expected goals, which basically it takes like how easy or difficult your chance is that you have a shot at, and it tells you how likely you are to score it. So a penalty is like you'd expect that to be high, but if someone gets like an open goal right in the 6-yarder, they're probably going to score it. So the expected goal of that would be like 0.9 something. But yeah, if someone's taking a shot from outside the box, it's 0.1. But anyway, West Ham are second or third in the table for that. Our expected goals against is really low. Our expected points for the season is really high. It suggests that our performances are really good, which they are. The numbers are backing up. I think we've outplayed Leicester for 2 halves today. We outplayed Wolves for 2 halves last week. I think against Arsenal we outplayed them for a half a game. All in all, superb stuff. I'm looking forward to the next game actually. It's been a while. You don't always say that, do you? But it's been a while. Anyway, people in the live chat, we're going to get onto the transfer news in a minute now. Hello to people joining us. We've got Daniel, we've got Ben, we've got Amir, Colin. Hello. Hope you're all doing well. Right, transfer stuff. Deadline tomorrow night is 11 o'clock. That is when we can no longer sign players internationally or from the Premier League. Basically, anyone, apart from the Championship. We're not going to be buying anyone from League 1 or 2, I don't think. So we can buy players from the Championship after 11pm tomorrow for another 15 days, I think it is, 2 weeks. But tomorrow night, 11pm, is the big all-important time. We're also trying to get players in. Jonathan Tah is now our number 1 target, according to XS Employee. They're buying Leverkusen centre-back. That's who we're trying to get in on a loan deal with an option to buy at the end of the season. He's a fantastic centre-back, isn't he? He's really good. I don't think he's... I don't want to say lived up to his hype, but I do think his reputation of his potential, I don't think he's achieved what people were expecting him to. I think 2 or 3 years ago, I think everyone thought he was going to go on and become one of the world's best centre-backs. He still might, but at the minute I think his progress is a bit slower than what people expected. But he's still a really good centre-back. He's not quick, but if you can read the game good, you don't need to be quick, do you? We saw Balbuena today against Leicester with Barnes and Vardy. Balbuena's far from quick, but he can read the game well. I think a loan deal for Tau would be obvious, to be honest with you. It'd be interesting to see if we could get him in. I think it's perhaps optimistic. I'd be surprised if we can get him in on that kind of deal. But fingers crossed. Be good to see that. So centre-back's clearly our number 1 priority. We'll get on to the backup option in a second. Robert Snodgrass could be on his way to Celtic. Celtic want Robert Snodgrass on loan. However, by the sounds of it, we're not too keen. We'd rather get rid of him on a permanent, if we are going to get rid of him, that is. But Celtic can't afford him. Celtic can only just afford his wages, and that is it. They can't even afford to give us a bit of money to have him on loan, which I think will test West Ham. If this bid does come in, if Celtic do want him on loan and they offer to pay his wages and that is it, it'll be a bit of a test, because I just don't see where Snodgrass is going to get the minutes from. However, saying that, we don't have a lot of centre midfielders at the club. We've got Souček, Rice, Noble. It's pretty much it. I know Jack Wilshere's still here, but Moyes clearly doesn't trust him. I think he trusts Snodgrass more, and I think most people watching this would do the same as well. I think Jack's the better footballer, but Snodgrass is the more reliable, isn't he? So Celtic are looking to get him. David Moyes likes Callum McGregor, the Celtic centre midfielder. I'm not sure we'd get him, to be honest with you. Not that he's unachievable, just that what he would cost, I don't think it would be worth it for West Ham for being third, possibly even fourth choice centre midfield. So I can't really see that one. But the Snodgrass of Celtic would be interesting, because I think he's on about 60,000 a week or something, and it's not loads of money, but if someone offers to take that off your hands for a player that's not really going to get much minutes, injury permitting, I can see why the club would be tempted there. Josh Cullen, though. Josh Cullen looks like he's on his way to Anderlecht for £800,000. It's not much, is it? Under $1 million. He's in the last year of his contract, so his contract's up in the summer next year. Again, just someone that's not really going to get much game time. This was the problem of going out with the Carabao Cup against Everton, because immediately you look at players like Snodgrass, Cullen, Felipe Anderson, you think, well, where are these guys now going to get their minutes from? Because the Carabao Cup was where they were getting their minutes from. That's gone now, so Josh isn't going to get in the squad. Mark Noble's third choice centre midfielder. Perhaps Moyes just doesn't fancy Josh Cullen, or he's looked at corner commentary and training last season, which he hasn't had the chance to do with Josh because he was at Charlton. So when Moyes was here with corner commentary, Moyes might have thought, there's something about this guy I like. Josh has come back, maybe the manager's decided there's not much between them. But £800,000 is off to Anderlecht, so he's one of those players that I do think we'll look at and think never really got a chance. Is he good enough or not? I don't know, but I would have liked to have seen him given the opportunity, because whenever I've seen him, I've been impressed by him. I remember in 2016 when we played Juventus at the London Stadium, I thought he was our man of the match, to be honest with you. I thought he was fantastic. He's gone out on loan to Bradford, he's gone out on loan to Charlton. He's always been winning, Player of the Year awards and stuff, and not just at the clubs, but that League One team of the season and stuff. So he's gone and done everything you can do. When you put a player on loan, that's what you want him to do. He's done all that, but he's just not really had the opportunity at West Ham, and whether it's an ability thing or just a poor decision by the manager thing, only time will tell, really. It's disappointing to see him go, especially for £800,000. I think you'd be better off keeping him, because you're going to pay more to get someone in on loan, aren't you? £800,000 to a Premier League club these days, you're paying £2 million per loan or something. So it just seems a bit, it's disappointing, shall we say. I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm not distraught. I would have loved to have seen him get his chance, but it doesn't say much for the Academy of Football, does it? When this summer Ngakia has left, Diangana's left, Josh Cullen's left. It's a bit would have been nice to be a little bit better. Right, live chat, here we go. We're having a look at Robert Singleton's asking about corner commentary. He's still at the club right now. I'd imagine he's going to be the fourth choice centre midfielder, if you like. But then, when we don't have the cup, you don't really need that much options, do you? So I think we're trying to trim the squad. Eric is saying that Snodgrass is very underrated. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of Snodgrass. I can't knock his work ethic, his professionalism or anything like that. I wouldn't get rid of Snodgrass though. I think having someone like that as a character around your squad sometimes is just as, possibly even more important, what they can do on the pitch. When you've got players like Connor Coventry coming through and Nathan Holland, having people like Snodgrass around is not necessarily a bad thing. But in terms of football, I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's too slow to be playing an attacking position, so therefore he can only really play centre midfield for us. And he's still too slow to do that. I don't know, where do you play Robert Snodgrass in today's formation? Would you put him in any of those that formation we saw? He couldn't do the role of Rice and Souček, and you can't do the role of Fornals and Bowen. It's not really a position for him now. Now we've switched to 3-4-3, so it's a bit of a shame. I think Snodgrass has been a good servant to us. He's been here a few years, hasn't he? But I think he's had a unnecessarily hard time, and I'm probably one of those people that give him a hard time, but I just don't think he's good enough. It's not a bad transfer or that. It's just his age, isn't it? I think it's time not to move him on. Like I said, I would keep him till the end of the season, but let him go at the end when his contract is up. Right, another player we've been linked with is Callum Chambers. Arsenal's defender, can play midfield. Again, that's another loan deal, so we'd have to get that wrapped up before 11 PM tomorrow night. Because while the domestic window's still open for another 2 weeks, Premier League clubs cannot do transfers between them, so we can only then go and get someone from the Championship or lower. And that's where the other rumour comes in. Craig Dawson, the Watford centre-back. Oh, he's alright, but it's very underwhelming. I'd rather have no signing than Craig Dawson, I think. I just wouldn't. I'd rather have Balbuena, Diop, Ogbonna, Creswell as your last centre back, then look at the likes of Elise and see what they can do when they come through. I don't really particularly want to see Craig Dawson at West Ham. Let's hope that one's not true. But listen, we can't get anyone in before the window shuts tomorrow night. If we don't get Ta or someone like that in, then we're stuck. We can only get players from the Championship, and there's only 2 centre-backs we've been linked with, Craig Dawson and Joe Rodon, the Swansea centre-back. However, Clara and Hugh reporting that the sources close to the club, work that one out, suggest that he's a year to 18 months away from being ready for Premier League football. But this comes back to a point that myself and Gonz are still making, that is, if you wait 12 to 18 months and he's ready for Premier League football, other Premier League clubs are going to want him. So this is like possibly your only opportunity to go get him, especially when you're as skint as we are. You get into a bidding war with someone. If someone like Aston Villa fancies him next year, they've got more financial muscle than we do. So this could be our only opportunity to go get him. I've not seen loads about him, Joe Rodon. I've not watched him enough. I know he's got injury problems and stuff, but that's the risk you're going to take, and that's the desperate situation you're going to find yourselves in if we do get a centre back. That is, David Moyes has made it clear he wants one, though, so I do hope that we get him. Pardon me. Cameron Reader says lack of transfer news makes me a bit worried tomorrow. Cameron, I get that. I do get that. I think Cameron also said he thinks In the Nose are keeping stuff quiet to get more clicks for tomorrow. I don't think you're wrong about that, because that's what makes the world go round, and here I am sat on a video. So am I any better than them? Well, I'm not really giving you the news, I'm just telling you what the In the Nose are saying. But I think the one thing I will say, Cameron, is David Sullivan loves it. This is why when we don't get transfers done and people criticise Sullivan, I think you can criticise him for the lack of spending perhaps. We know he can be a bit stingy, but Sullivan loves a deal. Sullivan loves the negotiating part. He loves playing director of football, real life football manager thing. And when it comes to deadline day tomorrow, I bet you Mr. Sullivan is probably going to get up first thing in the morning. He'll have his phones ringing and his emails going. He'll be excited. He loves it. Whether he gets anyone good or not, I don't know. But I think if there's a deal to be done, I think Sullivan will be there. Bertie saying we will get injuries and then the wafer thin squad will be exposed. That's a very valid point. We are, while I said earlier we're not a one-man team, and I like that, I would be a bit scared as to what would happen if we were to miss Rice or Souček. Could Noble do the job they're doing? I'm not convinced he could. If we were to go missing Ogbonna, I'd worry. Not so much Fabianski. I think Randolph will be okay short term. But you've got to question everything as well, really, haven't you? Because if Masuaku got injured, then what do? Do you put Creswell there? I think you lose a lot, actually. I think Masuaku's... I don't think Creswell's a left wing back, whereas Masuaku's perfect for that role. The attacking midfielders you'd be alright with. The striker, you don't want to... Actually, no, I would say if Antonio got injured, we'd miss him as well. So it can be a bit short term. Eric, what's going on with the guy from Marseille? I can't remember his name. I don't know, it sounds like that ice cream cart door, doesn't it? But it's not, it's something car or something like that. I'm not sure what his name is. Someone will put it up. But he doesn't want to come. He's playing for Marseille tonight. He's in the team tonight. He's not playing. He doesn't want to join West Ham because he wants Champions League football. We don't have Champions League football. We don't even have Carabao Cup football for him. So he doesn't wish to come. James Gunn, thoughts on the board having doubts over Tad because he's slow, but thinking Craig Dawson is a good signing. I don't know. I'm not sure, James. Infamy saying, was there any real interest in Aaron Long for the New York Red Bulls last year? I think there was. We signed someone else instead, didn't we? Can't remember who it was. I think there was genuine interest in him, but I don't think there was anything. Kalatkar. I don't know how you say his name. I know you're just putting up for it. Kalatkar. I don't know. I don't watch French football. Sign is saying, how many signings are you expecting? No more than 2. I think 2 at the most. The thing is, we've clearly got a little bit of money sitting there. We've clearly got a little pot of money going into tomorrow. We've got a decent bit to spend. I reckon we've got about 35 million. It all gets a bit funny, and I know people were pulling the board up because we're playing Sofals. He's cost 6 million, and it come out that we're paying it 2 million a year for the next 3 years. People are criticising the board for that. I don't see an issue with it because that's just how transfers are done now. When we sold Dean Gana, they didn't give us 18 million. West Brom did not give us 18 million pounds in one go. We would have, I don't know, got 8 million of it maybe. The other 10 million is paid up over the rest of his contract. So it's just how all transfers are done now. It's not really an issue. But in terms of like committing to spending over the length of contract, I think we've got about 30 million. We've got a lot of sway going into this, but whether we get someone or not, I don't know. This is the problem when you've got Moyes and Sullivan who can't agree as to which one to go for. One of them have got to give, and one of them's got to give tomorrow. And I hope Moyes has enough players on his short list, to be honest with you. Otherwise, Sullivan's going to go and get someone for him, and it's going to be a case of you've got to make do with that rather than the one you actually want. Dave157, anyone got an idea how long Holland is out for? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Dave. He's been out for quite a while, isn't he? It's a bit of a shame, but I don't think he's going to get an opportunity. I think he needs to go out on loan, to be honest with you. Luckily, there is a 2 week. The window's still open, so if he can still go get a move to a lower league side on loan. Vernon says, depends on what the plan is. Are we dropping Balbuena on current form? Deal up to £22 million player on the bench already? I completely agree with that. I've always liked Balbuena, Vernon. I've tried to defend him as much as I can on videos, but when you put it in that performance against West Brom in the FA Cup, it's a bit difficult to defend. But I've always thought he was good, and he's younger than people think. I think he's like 27, isn't he? He's 27, 28. He's a good age for a centre back. What's he worth? You'd be lucky to get 10 million for him. So I wouldn't really want to sell him. I wouldn't want to sell Diop unless it's silly money. That's not happening for either of them. I'm more than happy with just those two. Benj, what do you think of Sofal's debut? I thought he was fantastic, Benj. I thought he was a bit like a mini Zabaleta. He got forward well without being silly. Defensively very good. Read the game very well. I thought he kept popping up in places that... I think Ryan Fredericks has been brilliant this season. Okay, I think he's been really, really good. But Sofal popped up defensively in positions that Fredericks wouldn't have. That's just how I see it anyway. I thought he was really, really good. So I'm looking forward to it. Starts for the next game anyway. Cameron Reader, Xande Silva going on loan to Greece. Do you know something? I can't remember the team. I've never heard of that team, Cameron. I've seen the rumour with Xande Silva going out on loan to a certain team, and I thought, who the hell is that? I didn't really look any further, so I'm glad you're telling me it's Greece. But I'll be surprised we see him at West Ham, to be honest with you. I don't think we might see him a few games here and there, but I don't think he's got a long-term future at the club. He's not young, Silva, is he? 22, 23 years old now. He needs to be playing regular first-team football, and if it's not going to be at West Ham, then I think it's best to try and shift him on and get a few quid in, and we'll go try and find... You go gamble on someone else. I like gambling on players like it though. I know Cardoso, for example, will get put down on paper as a failure, won't it? We're signing for 2 million. He's not really done anything. Played for the under 23s. I'd be surprised to see him in the first team. But So technically it's a failure, but I like these ones. Paying £2-3 million for youngsters. If they make it, you're laughing, aren't you? I mean, they'll be worth 20-30 million. If they don't make it, you can probably get half your money back, move them on, and try again with someone else. It's all fine. Same with the Silva thing. I'm not that bothered if he doesn't make it. Dave Ben says, how many defenders in the Premier League are better than Ogbonna? I mean, he's outstanding, isn't he? He really is just superb. I thought today he made it look easy. I've seen Vardy been tearing defences apart this season. Against Man City, couldn't cope with him. Nathan Ake, who they've spent £50 million on. Gracia, who is on his way to Barcelona, or certainly wants to go to Barcelona. They couldn't cope with him. Ogbonna rocks up, barely breaks a sweat, and Vardy doesn't get a sniff of the game. I think he was just superb today. Ogbonna. It's not often a centre back gets man of the match when your team scored 3 goals, is it? But he got in. You can't really you can't complain. Colin, does Diop get back in after the Wolves in today's result? No, he doesn't. I think you keep what's working until it stops working. But this is why, if we don't get a centre back, I'll be disappointed for Moyes. But in terms of the squad, Diop's not a bad option to have, though, is he? So if Creswell or Balbuena goes out of form and you bring in Diop, you're not going to panic too much. I think he's a good player, Diop. So they all are. I think it's easy to sort of underrate them, if you like. Bertie, I reckon Moyes doesn't trust Diop or any of Pellegrini, who's lost his crap signings. I think that's a bit harsh, considering Pablo Fornals was one of their biggest signings, wasn't it? And he's a big part of David Moyes' plans. But I'll give you Ali Diop 50-50 with, I guess, on that one. And Felipe Anderson, obviously, can't really argue with that one there. Vernon Sinogi did the same against Jimenez and Aubameyang. You're right enough. Benny Boy, that's an interesting one. Is Rice rumours done, or are we expecting any moves? I think they've left it too late, Benny. I think Chelsea have left it too late if they do want him. But if they do, then they're going to have to throw down serious money first thing in the morning. I can't see it. I'd be surprised if Declan's not a West Ham player, which is the first time I'm saying that all summer, to be honest with you. All summer I've been expecting him to go to Chelsea. You watch him today and you think he is good. And I'll tell you what worried me, actually. I saw Chelsea's lineup against Crystal Palace. I saw their lineup against Crystal Palace yesterday, and I noticed that he's tweaked it a little bit, Lampard, hasn't he? He's gone from that 4 defenders, 1 defensive midfield, 2 centre mid, is like 3 attackers. He's switched it now to like a 4-2-3-1 formation, so you can get Havertz into the middle of the pitch. And when I saw that, I thought, because he had Conte and Jorginho, and I thought, oh no, this is like a Rice formation, this. Because prior, you thought, would he really start ahead of Jorginho with, mounting someone next to him? No, I wasn't too sure, but when I saw Saturday's lineup, I thought, that is a formation for Declan. But I think they've left it too late, to be honest with you. And I don't know why they've left it so late. That's if they do go for him. I think they were maybe expecting to sell more players, Chelsea. I think they're probably looking at their balance books thinking, they've got Barkley out on loan. I think they're trying to get Loftus-Cheek off the books for the rest of the season. But I think they're probably looking at their team thinking, we could have done with getting rid of 1 or 2 more of these players. So I think Declan will be here tomorrow night after 11 PM, and that's him with us until January at the very, very earliest, which is good news for us. It's not. I don't like labelling up as a new signing, but I think sometimes you can focus on who comes in, and sometimes you can lose sort of touch as to who hasn't actually left your club, because one can be just as important as the other, possibly even more important sometimes. I think keeping Declan is worth more than who we could have brought in this summer transfer window. Anyway, I'm going to start wrapping this up because it's been half an hour. I didn't know. It's quite late, isn't it? I've got work tomorrow. I need to get to my bed. But yeah, I had a little weekend away. I had a nice weekend too, if I do say so myself. And I thought, come on, do a little quick video and then I disappear again. So I've done my little quick video. I'm going to start disappearing. But before I do, if you wish to become a patron of Hammers Chat, if you want to support us, the link is in the description below. Benj commented earlier that he joined up. He's a patron, so thank you, Benj. Much appreciated. Basically, myself and Gonzo at the minute get to take 1 day a month off from our work to work on Hammers Chat, and yeah, we much appreciate it. It's never going to be our full-time job, but we could make it our part-time job, so it would mean the world to us. So if you want to support the channel, links in the description. You get more content though. We're not asking you to give us money for nothing. You get a little bit of something back. So you want more Hammers Chat videos, links in the description, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. And I'm going to disappear, but we'll be back tomorrow night. We'll have a video tomorrow because it's transfer deadline day and all that good stuff. So I'll catch you in a bit.